Wait, is Kristen DiMera actually going to pull off a massive escape and betray EJ DiMera before he banishes her to a remote private island? And why on earth is she trusting Lexie Carver with her master plan? Are you kidding me right now? Plus, Gabi Hernandez is completely losing her mind and pointing fingers at Philip Kiriakis and Xander Kiriakis. Hey Days fans, welcome back. I've got some massive Salem drama to unpack today, for Tuesday, July 21st. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's be real for a second. EJ DiMera has completely lost his mind, and the actor playing him, Dan Feuerriegel, is absolutely killing it right now. EJ is acting like prime Stefano DiMera, completely ruthless, unhinged, and totally obsessed with power. We all know EJ is furious because Kristen used Sophia Choi to try and murder Johnny DiMera in that horrific apartment fire. So, what is EJ's grand solution to deal with his sister? He wants to kidnap Kristen and ship her off to a private DiMera island. Does this not scream classic Days of Our Lives? It gives me massive flashbacks to the Meliswin Island storyline from 20 years ago, or even Stefano's old Maison Blanche tricks. The DiMeras love a good remote island banishment to make their enemies disappear. But if EJ honestly thinks Kristen DiMera is just going to pack her designer bags and quietly disappear into the night, he is severely underestimating his sister. I honestly believe Kristen is the most dangerous woman in Salem when she is backed into a corner. Stacey Hyduck plays this desperate, cornered version of Kristen so perfectly, bringing out all the chaotic energy we love to hate. Kristen knows she needs to leave town on her own terms. She is absolutely not going to let EJ dictate her fate or lock her in a cage. So, she starts nailing down the details of a brand new getaway plot. She needs resources, she needs a private jet, and she needs an ironclad alibi. I was stunned, completely stunned. Kristen is scheming like her life depends on it, because it actually does. If EJ gets his hands on her, she might never see Rachel Black again. And we all know Kristen will burn the entire town of Salem to the ground before she loses her daughter. She is a survivor, and she is going to fight back with everything she has. But here is the massive plot twist that made my jaw drop to the floor. Kristen shares her escape plan with Lexie Carver. Hold on a second. Why on earth is Kristen trusting Lexie with this highly sensitive information? Lexie is currently dying because Dr. Wilhelm Rolf's Versavic serum is failing her body. Lexie hates EJ right now because he played God with her life, bringing her back from the dead only to let her suffer again. So maybe Kristen sees Lexie as the perfect ally. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? I think Kristen is using Lexie's intense hatred for EJ to secure her own escape. It is a brilliant move by the writers to pair these two legacy women together. Lexie has nothing left to lose, and Kristen has everything to lose. I just hope Lexie doesn't cross EJ in the process, because EJ is a total monster right now, and he will destroy anyone who gets in his way, even his own sister. Now, let's shift gears to the absolute train wreck that is Gabi Hernandez. I have to take a firm side here, you guys. Gabi is acting like a complete lunatic. Gabi Hernandez is doing a fantastic job portraying Gabi's downward spiral, but the character is making me want to scream at my television screen. Gabi's daughter, Arianna, just moved out and absolutely refuses to speak to her because Gabi paid a massive bribe to Liam to force him to leave town. Gabi is completely isolated, rejected by her own child, and instead of taking accountability for her toxic actions, she is lashing out at everyone else in town. In Tuesday's episode, Gabi decides to point the finger at Philip Kiriakis and Xander Kiriakis, and it is the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen. Gabi actually accuses Philip and Xander of being the masterminds behind a fake wallet ring targeting Gabi Chic. Are you serious, Gabi? Philip and Xander are thrown for a massive loop by this wild accusation. They immediately go on the defensive. And honestly, I do not blame them one bit. Xander and Philip are currently in full panic mode because a mysterious corporate entity called Wealth just bought out Titan's massive loan. The entire Kiriakis legacy is on the verge of total financial collapse. Do you really think Philip and Xander care about knocking off Gabi's designer purses? They are fighting a brutal corporate war for a multi-billion-dollar empire. If you ask me, Gabi is just projecting her own miserable failures onto the Kiriakis men. Philip already dumped her for spying on his office for Tony DiMera. Xander is busy plotting his own dark revenge with Kristen and trying to navigate his messy, complicated feelings for Sarah Horton. Neither of these men has the time, the energy, or the desire to run a petty fake wallet scam. I love watching Xander laugh in the face of danger, and I bet he completely roasts Gabi for this ridiculous accusation. Gabi needs to get a grip on reality, or she is going to end up right back in prison or completely alone for the rest of her life. The writers are really tearing Gabi down this season, and I wonder if they are setting her up to hit rock bottom before a massive redemption arc later this year. Let's take a deep breath and talk about something beautiful for a change. Lonnie Price Grant and Eli Grant. Yes, you guys. Elani is back on our screens and giving us the pure romance we desperately need right now. Eli surprises Lonnie with a belated anniversary celebration, and it is everything my soap-loving heart could ask for. Sal Stowers and Lamont Archie have unmatched chemistry. They light up the screen every single time they share a scene. Lonnie has been carrying the weight of the entire world on her shoulders lately. She has been dealing with Chanel's terrifying breast cancer battle, Paulina's constant emotional meltdowns, and the absolute chaos of Lexie returning from the dead. Lonnie desperately needed a break, and Eli delivered in the best way possible. Eli shocks Lonnie with a gorgeous special necklace as an anniversary gift. It is such a tender, deeply romantic scene. Since Eli is always swamped with his police work, and they are both constantly running after the twins, Jules and Carver, they rarely get a single moment to breathe, let alone be romantic. Lonnie absolutely eats up this opportunity to have her handsome husband all to herself. Eli feels the exact same way about his wife. He completely spoils her, and they share some incredibly steamy scenes together. I love that the writers remembered to give us these sweet, intimate character moments amidst all the heavy, dark DiMera drama. It reminds me of how hard Eli and Lonnie fought to be together, surviving the evil TR Coates and the terrifying kidnapping of their babies. They are a true legacy couple in the making, and I am so here for it. Finally, let's talk about Julie Williams and Foster. Foster feels like he owes Julie a massive apology, and he steps up to the plate. Things have been a bit awkward since their first date, and the tension has been building. Julie has been so worried about pushing Foster away with her grief, but Foster deeply regrets that their follow-up date hasn't happened yet. He makes it crystal clear that he is still very interested in her and wants to pursue this connection. Susan Seaforth Hayes is daytime royalty, and she plays these vulnerable moments with such grace. I know it is incredibly hard for Julie to move on from Doug Williams. Bill Hayes was a legend, and Doug and Julie are arguably the greatest soap opera couple of all time. But Julie deserves companionship and love in her golden years. Foster tries to get on the exact same page with Julie about where they stand romantically. They have a deep, emotional conversation about their next chapter and what the future holds. I honestly believe Alice and Tom Horton would want Julie to be happy and not spend the rest of her life alone in that big house. Foster is a true gentleman, and I absolutely love seeing older legacy characters get front-burner romance storylines. It brings so much heart and soul to the show. Will they continue down a romantic path? I really hope so. Julie needs someone to share her days with, and Foster fits the bill perfectly. It is a beautiful tribute to the enduring spirit of the Horton family. So, I have to know what you guys think about all this Salem madness. Do you honestly believe Kristen is going to successfully escape EJ? Or is he going to catch her and lock her away on that island forever? And what do you think about Gabi's wild, paranoid accusations against Philip and Xander? Drop your wild predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share it with your fellow DOOL addicts. See you next time for more Days of Our Lives drama.